Hello, this is a Lunoscope reading for Wednesday, September 26th, and I'm going to do something a little different. Basically, what I've done is I've charted the entire year in through the archetypal story of the tarot, and I realized a while back that there are 52 weeks of the year, and if you take the minor arcana of the tarot, you end up with 52 cards. You have 4 suits, 4 seasons, 4 elements, and I broke them down by placing 1 card on each week of the year and played around with it. And so far, 6 months in, I have found amazing correlations. And so I'm going to use that information to do something where I actually talk about where the moon is at in relationship to the sun and how we can use that information in our lives on a daily basis. So for Wednesday, September 26th, the sun is in the beginning degrees of Libra, and I've taken away that the beginning degrees of Libra are going to be the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is in the deck I'm using today is actually the Ace of Crystals. So I'm just going to bring that up. And you can't see it up here, but the word for the Ace of Crystals is Brilliance. What I talked about in the full moon reading yesterday was how this time in the beginning of Libra, we are getting ready to initiate something new, something brilliant, something that we have been working on for a number of months, and that is finally at a point where we want to share it with other people on a larger scale. And so right now, our brilliant ideas are ripe and ready to come to the surface. And with the moon in the final degrees of Aries today, on Wednesday 26th, actually I'm doing this on Tuesday, but this is for tomorrow. The moon will be in the final degrees of Aries tomorrow. And so the final degrees of Aries are actually, from my calculations, the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands in this deck, I don't think you can read it, but the 4 of Wands in this deck, the name on it is Aspiration. And so what a perfect correlation, right? That we have this brilliant aspiration that we want to share and bring into the world. But very early on in the day, the moon is squaring Pluto. And so it's squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So Pluto, what I've discovered from these planets is Pluto corresponds with the underworld and the death principle. And so by looking at some of these aspects and understanding also that our moon just passed Chiron, I believe that we're all facing something that has to do with the death of some kind of internal struggle with what it will take to bring our brilliant ideas into the light, into our sharing, into our communities. And I believe that over the last couple of days, we have probably, sorry, my phone keeps going off. We've probably faced some of our darker tendencies when it comes to our self-sabotage, or some of the fears that we've thought would just, kill our concept of ourself. And I think that by Wednesday morning, we're going to wake up and we're going to feel a lot more certain about moving toward that sharing and moving toward that direction. I believe that as the moon moves through this cycle, we are going to take that kind of New Year's energy, that new feeling energy, and we're going to just continue following through with all the things that we decided we were going to follow through with. All it takes is just committing and then continuing to follow through. And anytime our mind gets in the way, use that Pluto death principle today to just say, no, I'm not, that doesn't serve me anymore. I'm going to be present with what's happening right now. Because really when the death card comes up, I always like to bring to our attention any times that we are stepping away from the present moment, thinking about something that isn't actually currently ending or impending, or the doom is not actually happening. There's a lot of focus on impending doom in our lives. And I think that fear of impending doom is why we kind of get hung up on taking certain action in our lives and and showing up in certain ways. So today, I'm willing to bet that we can wake up, we can realize that all the things we were afraid of, they were not necessarily important for us to worry about. That in fact, we can use our Ace of Crystals, our brilliance, and we can reach for our aspirations and share our aspirations with others. And, traditionally, the Four of Wands card, this one shows like a whole bunch of reaching and success and lighthouses and towers. But traditionally, this Four of Wands shows, two wands here, like an 11-11, and it shows a couple like celebrating their marriage, and it's kind of off in the distance. And the way I read that card is that, we all have our dreams. We have the dream that we believe will make us feel fulfilled, or that it's strong enough that we're willing to do the work to strive for it. And I believe that today we can actually take some more steps toward that, and that we will finally clear some of our fear around taking those steps. And we'll see that even though our dream's a little bit still in the distance, that these are the steps that we have to take to actually walk through those gates toward it. And so please just do it. The moon will be void, of course, most of the day, meaning it won't have a lot of major aspects before it reaches Taurus on Thursday. So use that time to really feel into the fact that the present moment doesn't really have that much to fear. The present moment isn't really punctuated by those things, that impending doom that we sometimes feel. And we might be totally free from that today. So if you find yourself having an opportunity to reflect on that, just ask yourself, what's actually happening right now? What's literally happening right now? Is the thing I'm afraid of literally happening? And if it did, what would that look like happening right now? And chances are it's going to be a really peaceful, beautiful day for us to reflect and just continue stepping toward our goals. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.